Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Week Ahead. That sounds very ironic, doesn't it? This week's Week Ahead. But, anyways, that's how things are. So, welcome to this week's Week Ahead. What an eventful week it was. If you are looking at the Nifty chart, you will not see any eventfulness. But if you are looking at the news that is surrounding you, I have got lots of stories to tell you today, my friends. So, the New Year party seems to have finally ended, and the bad note with which 2018 started, that bad note is now again back again. So in 2018, let me just remind you what all were the bad news. We had that ILNFS default and NBFCs in a panic and all kinds of the global economy slowdown. All those news had come in at the end of 2018. But now, over the last 3 weeks, suddenly when 2019 came in, all the bad news vanished. All the global markets started rallying. Not the Nifty, but the global markets actually went up significantly over the last 3 weeks. And people are wondering that, oh, was there bad news in December 18? Yeah. Well, for all those people who are wondering what happened, nothing. The bad news is still there. And now, suddenly, over the last 1 week, we have seen all that bad news and more come into the market, which I'm going to talk about today. So, the first thing, first is first, we all know about the US China trade war, right? But now, let's talk about stats related to the trade war. So, if you want to check the trade, actual trade, okay, which is between US China or between any countries, it can be measured if you track their shipping freight rates. So the first piece of news that I have for you is that the world dry goods shipping freight rates, okay, that is the Baltic Dry Index, has hit a low. It is down 47% since July 2018. So it's become half. So basically, if you are shipping goods, dry goods in July 2018, today you're shipping them at 47% discount to that price. Why? Can you think of a reason other than the trade war? I cannot. But this certainly tells you something about the trade war. Now, we have a few economists who say that actually, because of the trade war deadline, US has actually imported more goods from China in the last 2-3 quarters. If that were the case, there would still be demand for shipping freight rates, isn't it? So, even if that is the case, there have been other aspects of trade, global trade between US, China, and between US and the other countries that has been affected. And it is the result of all of that that the Baltic Dry Index has hit um, has been down by 47%. So that was the first piece of news. The second piece of news, in 2018, we saw this big NBFC crisis which happened. ILNFS actually went to the dumps because they defaulted on a few bonds. We've covered that in our previous sessions of Week Ahead. We've covered that in a special NBFC video. Now, suddenly, last 3 weeks, there has been no news about this. Everything has been going rosy, and suddenly we have a company of the same group, ILNFS Transportation, the two subsidiaries of ILNFS Transportation that are Jharkhand Road Projects Implementation Company and your North Karnataka Expressway Limited Company. Both of these companies have defaulted on their uh, papers, bond papers, and it is because of that that again this week we have over the last couple of days there has been a scare in the markets related to that. Now, on while we are on this topic, let me just show you the chart of ILNFS transportation. Let me show you the chart of the Baltic Dry Index, and let me show you the chart of yeah, these two things. So there we are. I hope you can see the chart here, right? I'll just add first while we are on the topic, I'll show you IL and FS transportation network. There you go. Name sounds so cool, but look at the stock. It's gone to the dogs. It's $9. It was $90 in Jan 2018. So if I were to pull up a weekly chart here, okay, it's been going down. Okay, we had two good weeks in the mid December, but then it's been going down ever since. And this week it's hit a new low. Okay, I can hear myself now. So just a minute. There we go. Right. Um, so Ranit here has a comment that HDFC sold grew, and that may be a sign that the NBFC worst is still to come. Uh, Maybe. And look at what happened to Gru after that. Like while we're on that topic, while we're on the topic of NBFCs, this is what happened to Gru. HBFC sold Gru. There is no problem in the company, but the brand name is gone, and this is what happened to the company. We had a company trading happily at 330 levels, is now trading at 227. So yeah, so as Ranit's rightly saying that um, the price is way less than its market value. Yeah, it is because it does not have the HDFC brand value anymore. That's what the market is saying. The real reason might be something else. You never know. This is the market. There is a eyewash and there is actual shit and there is hogwash, isn't it? So, so on the note of RNFS transportation, before moving on to the next piece of news, let me talk about the Baltic Dry Index. Let's see if investing has it. Baltic Dry Index. There we go. Okay, it's not a really happening thing, but there we go. This is a weekly chart. So here, this is the July level which I'm talking about. It was trading at 1770 in July. It's been falling ever since, right? It took a dip in November when things were at their worst. It took some kind of a respite, maybe on news that China is importing more stuff, but now it's going down again, right? Um, Yeah, so for all those who have questions, Baltic Dry Index, it actually shows you the price of shipping freight rates. It's actually an index which maps shipping rates across 36 different shipping routes all over the world. And so if there is global trade happening, if global economies are doing well, the demand for shipping the goods is high and the Baltic Dry goes up. But if the demand for shipping goes down, well, then you have Baltic Dry crashing down, and that's what's happening right now. We are down 47% from 30th July 2018. People, economists are owing it to the trade wars. I also cannot think of any other reason apart from the trade war and the global meltdown. So there we go. Uh, this was about that. Now, moving back to our piece of news, the next piece of news is that the CBI in 2019 has taken a new resolution. What is the resolution? That now we have to crack down on every company ever, right? So we had Chanda Kocchar who stepped down in October as the ICICI CEO, and Deepak Kocchar, who's the husband. Both of them had a CBI probe happen to their residence, I think, yesterday, and CBI actually uh, put a charge sheet against them stating that they are responsible for a 1730 crore rupee loss which ICICI Bank had to face because of their um, corrupt dealings with Videocon Venu Gopal Dhoot. Now, the story was very long. We can actually have a different video on the story. But if you still want to know it in a couple of lines, there we go. So, Deepak Kochar was closely associated with Venugopal Doot, who is Mr. Videocon, and uh, ICICI Bank gave a very large amount of loan to that company. The total loan given by the consortium was 47,000 crores, of which ICICI Bank gave a loan of, I think, 3870 crores or something to that tune. Now, when that happened, we had these uh, Mr. Dhoot forming a new company and he made uh, transfer money in that new company, some 60, 80 crores. And that company had another set of promoters in which Deepak Kochar, Chanda Kochar, and their relatives were a part of that company. So again, this gave an idea of fishy things. A lot of court cases happened, arguments happened. Eventually, the entire staff of ICICI Bank, who was earlier backing Chanda Kochar, they eventually started backing out, and Chanda Kochar had to step down as the CEO of ICICI. And today we have a charge sheet. So CBI resolution complete. Now, in another probe that CBI did, they actually dug up some loan which Zee TV gave to Venugopal Dhoot in the same in some 2013-14 region, and that became a piece of news, and that led to the negativity that Zee TV has had today. But the real reason for Zee TV's fall is not known because Zee TV, as you know, it's owned by SL Group. Okay, one of the reasons that is being cited for the fall of Zee TV stock today, which is like this, which is on your screen. Just let me show it to you on your screen. Um, okay, I got to share the entire screen. There you go. There. So now, this is how the Zee TV stocks performed today. And again, I can hear myself. So there you go. And now we are wondering why this happened. One of the reasons is that the promoter of ZTV is reducing their stake in ZTV. So this is one of the reasons. The other reason is which is being cited is that there was a CBI probe on Dish TV. Okay, and Dish TV apparently the distributors of Dish TV they put in 7,000 crore cash in demonetization era in the banks. And that is a probe that CBI chose to do now. So CBI living up to their New Year's resolution, Dish TV taking a dump in the market. There we go. Now it is because of this Dish TV problem. It is because of that Essar giving a loan to Venugopal Doot, and it is because of the Zee TV promoter who said that we want to reduce our stake a little bit in Zee TV. It's because of these three reasons that Zee TV actually fell in today's market. So that was the third piece of news. So now let's go to the next piece of news, which is the US market. So the US government has been in a shutdown since 5 weeks. Imagine if your governments are not working for 5 weeks. You are not having, courts have not been working. The traffic systems, everything, the law system is barely functioning, and all the government offices are shut since 5 weeks. Now you would ask that what the hell happened in the US that this thing happened? The reason is actually very funny. So Trump actually he wants to build a wall between US and Mexico. That was one of his election propagandas and one of the promises he made in his election, and he wants to live up to that. Very good. So now for building that wall, it is going to require 5.7 billion dollar rupees, which he wants to add to the US budget. And the congressmen are vehemently refusing adding those 5.7 to the US budget. To that extent that there was voting in the US Senate which took place and the proposal got rejected. Trump said that the government's going to be shut until he gets the 5.7 billion for the wall, or until he gets an alternative proposal to build the wall. Now, for that wall, US government has been shut for 5 weeks. Let me tell you the reverse mathematics of this. Okay, US GDP loses 0.2% every week that the US government is shut. So we've already down 5 weeks. If we are down by a couple of more weeks, US GDP will be down by 2% in this quarter, which is what already a lot of brokerage houses, etc., out there are forecasting. A lot of financial institutions there are forecasting. Not just that, in 2 more weeks, the cost that the US will have to incur, or the cost which the US is bearing for these shutdowns, is going to exceed 5.7 billion. So you damn well, probably damn well, would have let him build the wall rather than spend 4 billion already trying to avoid him to build the wall. So it's a very stupid game which is going on, but it's very funny. So this was a funny story of the US. Also, um, Davos. So the World Economic Forum is going on in Davos, okay, and there we have some weird situation going on, in which the entire world is concerned about the US-China trade war. The second concern, which entire world who's there in the World Economic Summit, all of them are raising a concern that the Chinese GDP is slowing down, to that extent that the vice president of China had to come out there and say that, dude, stop worrying about our economy. Our economy is doing a good job. And yeah, there have been speeches made by him which are to that tune. And yeah, that's the long and short of it. I'm still seeing speeches of people who have spoken in the Davos summit. Maybe I'll give you a few updates of that in the this week or in the next week ahead. As of now, so I've got this bit about China says stop freaking out over our economy. I've got this week in which the audience of the World Economic Summit, the world audience that is there, they are saying that for Brexit, there should be a second referendum taking place in the UK. मतलब सब काम धंधा साइड में छोड़ के now we have to do that. Why? Because obviously last week Theresa May's proposal, the mid-Jan proposal, got rejected, and on that note, a group of 20 ministers actually visited Theresa May and petitioned that there cannot be a Brexit with a no deal. There cannot be a no deal Brexit. They had a petition. 20 ministers are pressurizing Theresa May to come up with a solution. And they also went to the extent of saying that it would be against the 2016 referendum spirit if the Brexit happened with a no deal. So that is about Brexit. Another story which I have for you this week is the Essar Steel story. Okay, so again, there is a big history to it, but in apparently, what happened was that Essar Steel had run up a debt of 47,000 crores in 2013. They went to the RBI and to its bankers that we want a restructure of this debt. So they stopped servicing that debt in 2013. They were looking for a restructuring agreement. Now, till 2017, nothing happened in the restructuring agreement. In 2017, RBI was fed up with all the MPAs, and it actually came up with a rule that within a year, you have to put all the unresolved cases which are not in restructuring and all that in the bankruptcy court. So either you resolve your issues or you go in the bankruptcy court. Now, RBI made this decision. Ruyas chose to challenge the decision in the court. The court did not hear them out. The court refused blatantly that, boss, let do as RBI is saying. So then the Ruyas had no option but to then foster restructuring or foster buying of their own company. So what they did is they formed a company called New Metal, Numetal, along with some other people and themselves, and then they put a bid to buy their own company. How great is that? So they didn't want to lose their company in 2013, but they were made to lose it because they could not come up with a decision with the bankers till 2017, and RBI put that thing. So now, since they are being made to lose the company, they formed a new company called New Metal and put a bid in the market for buying their own company back. Now, absurd as it sounds, it is absurd. So the RBI rejected it. So yeah, things aren't really as stupid all the time, you know. So um, once that happened, once RBI rejected it and said that New Metal has the promoters of the same damn company in it who have defaulted, they cannot bid for a company. A defaulted promoter cannot bid for a company in the NCLT. So then, what New Metal did was they removed the Ruiyas from that and gave a bid of 53,000 crore, something crore rupees to buy the company. But before that happened, there was a new entrant in the market. The new entrant was none other than Lakshmi Mittal of ArcelorMittal, who put in a bid to buy Essar Steel for 42,000 rupees, 42,000 crore rupees, and he won the bid. This happened between the fight that was happening for the new metal thing. They already won the bid. So uh, no, there was one more thing that happened prior to that. So Lakshmi Mittal bid for buying the SR Steel Company, but they were prevented because they also were promoters to two other companies which had defaulted: Uttam Galva Steel and KSS Petron. So they had defaulted on these two companies, and uh, what Lakshmi Mittal then did was he paid off the default amount of these two companies, and then he put a bid and he won the bid for SR Steel at 42,000 crore rupees. After that, New Metal comes and says that I'm bidding 53,800 or something like that crores for SR Steel. So now the case is in the court for hearing as to who gets SR Steel. Now Mittal is pissed off because his money is stuck for a while. He cannot do anything with those 42,000 crore rupees. He's not yet gotten a company. Ruya has managed to stall the case. The hearing is on 31st January. Now, isn't this story thrilling? Yes, there was one more twist in the story, that the SBI actually got fed up of this entire mess. Okay, now out of the 47,000 crore rupees debt which SR Steel had raised, 11,000 something crore was debt which SBI had given to them. So what SBI said was, I want to get out of this deal, give me my 11,000 crore rupees, and he put his take of the debt for an auction which was going to take place on 30th Jan of this month, when very well knowing that on 31st Jan was the court case hearing for the same damn company. So everyone got pissed off that what the hell is wrong with SBI? Why do they want to get out one day before the court case? Do they know the outcome or do they know what? So it is very, very weird. Okay, what they did, everyone got pissed off. SBI realized that, and then it pushed its sale of its 11,000 crore rupee debt to SR Steel to 11th Feb 2019. So this is what has been happening this year, right? So it's been a very eventful, crazy ass week already. But one more twist in the story. Everyone is wondering that SBI is fed up of the Ruiyas. All the bankers are fed up of the Ruiyas that they could not strike a deal with them right from 2013 to 2017. How the hell did the Ruiyas get 53,000 crore rupees to bid for their company back again? Now it's a very valid question. And then eventually the answer showed up that Mr. Sajjan Jindal of JSW Steel, he actually is going to help the Ruyas retain their company. And with that, it is just imperative that I show you the chart of JSW Steel. What happened to it today? So it is Sanjan Jindal who said that he will back new metal and getting their stake. So this is what happened to JSW Steel this week, and this is what's been happening to it over the last few months. Right? It's ridiculous. So yeah, Ranit, it is a movie story, but it's like a very bad, corrupt, ongoing movie which happens in the news every day. So there you go. That was one piece of news today. Along with this, the result seasons have kicked in. Okay, and uh, the result season has kicked in. The results have been mixed, and also few stocks have taken a beating and all that stuff. So that is the least of it. Like, look at the other news, and then there are results, which are like, yeah, results. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? So it's been a crazy week all over for the markets, all over for the world markets. And guess what the Nifty did? Let me show you the Nifty chart. Now, how do I show you the Nifty chart? However, we have the Nifty chart out here. Okay. So this is the weekly chart right on your screen. And these are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 straight weeks in which Nifty has been range bound. Each and every trader in the world has had a bad 2019. Why? Because Nifty has been flat and it kind of sucks. Like, look at this range. It's 750 and 912. We had like the CNBC guy yelling today that every time it comes on 950, you sell it, and every time it comes near 700, you buy it, and something like that in a very bored, matter of fact manner. So it's been in a range, but this week it has had a bad close. Okay. And I'm optimistic that this bad close will actually now lead to a further movement on the downside. Um, Not just that, just have a look at all the sectors. Okay. I'll just quickly browse through all the sectors of the on the weekly chart of all the sectors. So this is Bank Nifty. It has had a good run up over the last few weeks. It has gone up from November 24,000 levels to 20, almost 28,000, 27,800 levels. And then it's taken a beating this week. So it's very likely that this move is going to go down in the next week, continue on the downside in the next week. Now look at the pharma sector. As we said, it's been just sticking around and it's relatively not been taking a dump this week. It's not been dumped. It's not falling. It's been doing a good job. The auto sector, it felt like there's no tomorrow. Then it consolidated, and now it is continuing to fall like there's no tomorrow. So there is no tomorrow. Just go and sell this, right? The commodity sector again taken a beating, closed near its lows which were there, the October lows. It's very close to that. In fact, it is the lowest weekly close uh, since maybe 2017. So that is that. The consumption story, India consumption story is very pretty. All the mutual funds are heavily loaded on this shit, but it's falling. There you go. And I don't see any buying take place here. This is a clear cut fall. This is your central PSEs again taking a fall. This is your energy sector. This is not falling thanks to Reliance. Another result which came this week, which actually made Airtel and Idea go down. Like, look at what happened to Airtel and Idea this week. There you go. Okay, so last week, Airtel took a dump, Airtel fell, and then it fell further slightly, and it's been falling since quite a while. Also, let's look at Idea. The day the result came, Airtel was down 7%. Idea went ahead and hit a new low. About Idea, we had a new piece of news that Birla and Vodafone, both of them are actually gonna pump in money in the company. They are coming up with a rights issue to the tune of 25,000 crores, in which Birla is gonna raise somewhere near 7,000 crores, and Vodafone is gonna pump in somewhere near 11,000 crores. Rest of money will be raised from the market. The equity most likely is going to get diluted, and the share actually hit another low. Now, this is the financial services. This was when the NBFC scare happened, this entire fall, the earlier one. Then it went back saying that things are not that bad and only one company went for a fall and all that stuff. And then today, again, this week, again, it's been falling. This week, again, we started with bad news of ILFS transportation. And again, we are having a bad week. This is your FMCG sector. Your FMCG sector is supposed to protect the Nifty when it goes down, but this thing is going down and it's going to drag the Nifty along with it. So, um, I'll add the RSI also to this. There you go. The RSI is also broken past its average and is going down. So now we have the Nifty infrastructure sector. Well, until the election ends, this sector is hopeless. We all know that. Then we have the Nifty IT sector, which is doing a good job. Also, while we are discussing IT, let's look at the USD INR chart, which actually went up over the last 2 weeks, and then this week it's taken some kind of a breather, but it still managed to close at last week's levels. It'll be interesting to see how this performs. My bet is that it might continue going upwards for at least another week. So this is our Nifty media sector. No guesses. Zee TV and Dish TV, they outdid themselves, and this is what happened. Then there is Nifty metal sector, and I showed you Jindal Steel, but pretty much all steel stocks have been hammered, and then the metal sector is not doing well as of now. Nifty mid cap, Nifty private banks. Now this was doing a good job until this happened. This is what happened to ICICI Bank. Now it has closed below all its support. I don't think this thing is gonna stop anywhere before 340 levels. So we still have 17 bucks downside. Maybe this is just my view. SEBI, don't screw me for this. Yeah, well, doesn't look good at least to me. So yeah, then we have the PSU bank sector, again not looking good. Service sector, again after a run up, gave a very red candle. The RSI is just managed to close on the average here. Let's look at what happens in the future. Then we have the Nifty realty sector out here, and this one gonna take a beating because the RSI is well below 50. RSI is like at 40 levels, and it's also broken past its range of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. So we can at least have next 2, 3 weeks of a downside out here. So now with that in perspective, so now guys, so now with that in perspective, it'll be very interesting to see what the Nifty has been doing, what the world markets will do. Okay, so I'm not going to show you the world market charts. You can go on investing and see them. Over the last 4 weeks, the world markets have actually taken a big bounce from their December lows. And now it'll be very interesting to see, in the light of all these new piece of news and information that is coming in. Today is the last day of the Davos summit. Also, more news that is going to come in, the more US government shutdown news that is going to come in, and all kinds of news that is coming in. It'll be very interesting to see what happens to the world markets. Now, there is just one last piece of news that we have gotten for you for this week. That is that It has also been a crazy week for the money roller. Today I'm sitting here and giving you this talk after weeks. The reason is that all our team is all over India. They have gone to IIM Sirmaur, SRCC, Daulatram College, IMT Ghaziabad, talking to students. We are having a meetup which is coming up in Delhi this uh, weekend on Sunday. And so the money roller has also trying to been expanding its footprints, meeting all its stakeholders, having talks with students about the markets. And if you want to be a part of our Delhi meetup, you can get in touch with our office, or you can go on our social media and you'll find the form there, and you can probably get there on Sunday. So it's been a crazy week. I've had a few stories. I can actually make different videos and explain all these stories in detail to you. If you want that, please mention it down in the comment below. And next week, the result season is going to continue. We will come back with a lot of more stories next week. Till then, goodbye. Have a good weekend. By the way, it's very cold, and North India is raining like crazy, and it's very cold, and it's because of that in Mumbai also we are feeling cold now these days. So enjoy this nice cold weekend. Enjoy Republic Day. Jai Hind. See you guys. Bye.